We got a fun-filled show tonight.
I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, A60 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around. She caught me.
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
The hood, we locked the
Clear. I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.
What up? What's popping out there, peoples? Hope everybody having a blessed day. Hope everybody is having a blessed day. It's your boy PH. Press. Mr. Above 140. And we are back. Nate, what's up, Nate? Nate on the check-in. How your 12 you doing, Nate? You getting them ready, brother? Seeing y'all walking on that nice field. Probably over there running some drills.
What you mean they got a new field? They got a new field?
No, but it looks good around this time of year. New Haven field start off looking real good. And then, as it rained and all that, it hadn't hold up. But I heard they were getting a new field. Nate, did y'all get y'all new field yet? They're supposed to get a new field. No, I don't think they got it because they was turning the field and doing it the other way from what I heard that the plans were supposed to be. I wonder how that came out. I don't know if they did it. But I think New Haven was supposed to get a new field.
Word. What's going on, Playboy? Let's get this thing rocking, bro.
Good, I'm good. Hey, listen. Well, let a couple more people jump on, man.
Word.
Let me get the agenda up. Let's get the agenda up. We ain't been on time in so long. Ain't nobody ready for us.
Let's just start the show, brother. It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, A60 Army.
And it's your boy PH, the Prez, Mr. Above 140. And Tito, I got a monologue. So it ain't that many people on, but those that's on, I want to.
Well, give it a second then, because there ain't no rush. We got a busy night with guests. We do
have a lot of guests coming on. We got some moms coming on.
But
and we've been talking to the moms, Tito, from the fatherly coaches, alpha male perspective. And so now I thought it was important to allow the females to get on and kind of, speak their piece on what their thoughts was. I did get it. Some of them wrote me and told me that that they would have liked to respond. And so I think it's important that we do. I think it's important we get them.
LJ, that was part of the trips. That was part of the trips presentation, bro. That was the last thing I put up there.
Clearly, LJ, you're not tapping into the General's chalk talk. LJ, you have to do a better job.
Yeah, man.
All right, so anyway, I don't care. People will catch up on it. Tito, let me say this. Out in Bridgeport, Connecticut, the Bridgeport Raiders is being managed, I think might be the right word, by a criminal. Paul Butler is a criminal. So he need not say nothing about Hartford. He need not to say nothing about Pop Warner as long as I'm around, because he's a thief. If y'all know Paul Butler, he's a thief. He's a criminal. You can tell him to watch. Yeah. I don't really give a shit how he feels.
Explain who Paul Butler is.
Paul Butler was the president of Central Connecticut Pop Warner. He was originally in Stratford president, then Bridgeport president. He's a thief. And he's the thief. He's the rottenest dude you could ever be around. This is a dude who I went and saw at a hospital in Bridgeport because he told me he had cancer. He was lying about that too. He's a rat. He's a rat too. Little did I find out, but I ain't gonna go talk about the Italians. I'm gonna stick on this right here, right? Paul Butler is a thief, and I'm going to prove it. And I don't care how y'all feel. Don't nobody tell me to stop because he robbed me for $20,000, not y'all. So I don't care how y'all feel. And I'm about to prove it. Tito, what does this say? Paul Butler was arrested, Tito, last year. Paul Butler was arrested on 12/3. $30,000 case. That's my money plus the court costs. Tito, it says Phil Bryant versus Paul Butler. I took it to courts because, people would have took this a whole different way. I took it to the courts. This is a thief that's representing a Pop Warner program. He should not be involved in Pop Warner. So he should not even be talking about nobody that shouldn't be a Pop Warner. He shouldn't be involved. Mind you, Tito, he robbed other people. He got other cases out here, Tito. He robbed a lady in Milford. And I know it's true because I called her lawyer and tried to get him to be my lawyer on some of that. So I'm telling you,
was that a similar
sucker, and he a thief, and he shouldn't be involved in no Pop Warner because he's robbing families all around Connecticut, and he got arrested. And I'm showing up every court date, sitting in there. Last time I saw him in court, he looked at me in the face, ran out of there, and asked for a continuance. You're gonna ask for a continuance every time because I'm popping out. You can come with who you want. I'm coming by myself. Take it how you want. Come with who you want. I'm coming dolo, and I'm gonna by myself.
In both these cases, he took money up front and never finished the job, right? Posing like he was a contractor.
He was lying. He never was a contractor. He never had a license since like 2012, 2013, 2014, something like that. And so he was taking people money, not doing the jobs. This is a dude who I made the president of Central Connecticut Pop Warner. I paid for Bridgeport's Airbnb down in Florida when he was the president and they went down to Florida at Pee Wee. I paid for that. I paid for that. I gave him, I got receipts that I paid for Bridgeport. I did Bridgeport jerseys that they played on ESPN. I did those jerseys. I paid for that. And this sucker went and took money from me. Now, and I'm going to tell you how much of a sucker he was, Tito. He moved the Naugatuck on Salem Street in Naugatuck, and I can say it, y'all, because it's public information. It's up here. It's public information. If you just click on this, it's public information. So I don't care how y'all feel, okay? And moved and didn't tell nobody on our board he moved, had us thinking he was living somewhere. Mind you, took his house out his name, put in his wife's name, and moved on the low. He a sucker, and he a thief. With that being said, Tito, we got a fun-filled show tonight, bro. Listen, so we had parents, we had fathers and alpha male coaches on talking about youth football from our perspective and how we think women, how they think women got a role in this and what they should play, right? Like we talked about that. So now we're going to talk from the perspective of how the single woman that's operating in that space and how they view it and how they see it. Because I think it's important that we hear both sides of the coin. In the past, in the last couple of weeks, starting back when Ty Carter had his show, it's been mostly alpha male perspective on youth football. So I want to get the opposite because I think it's important that as a podcast we be well-rounded. What's your text coming in hot over my monologue, brother?
Oh,
I don't care how you feel. I don't really care.
I don't care, bro. You know who I rock. Everybody know who I rock with. Right, wrong, or indifferent. Right, wrong, or indifferent.
He a thief, and I got receipts, and the court got receipts. The state investigator got receipts. So I don't care how none of y'all feel. If you feel some type of way, don't say nothing to me about it.
He a dirty, rotten scoundrel.
No, he is. He's a sucker. He shouldn't be involved in youth football. He shouldn't be involved in no meetings or nothing because he a thief. He a thief, and he's out there managing Bridgeport. Bridgeport should be ashamed of themselves doing business with him.
I mean, maybe you need to give people a little bit of a little disclaimer about. Damn, Phil, why would you give Paul his last? You would think, yo,
He said, I would have gave Paul my life.
People
I
need to
told you,
understand.
this is a man, dog,
This
who said
dude
he had cancer.
Hold on.
And me
This
and
dude-
Kelly drove from Hartford to go see this sucker in the in the hospital, bro. Ask that man if he needed something. Because he said he
got
had
nerve.
cancer.
He got nerve
on,
worrying about who he got nerve worrying about who coaching where when you out there taking people's hard-earned money. Hard-earned money. You know what I'm saying? It's not even like street money, and even then it's not understandable.
My wife fed this man in my house. Y'all know how I'm feeling? I don't want to say nothing crazy, but my wife fed this man in my house. This man left the back of my house open to the elements during Christmas when me and my kids, I flew my kids. He don't know this. I flew my kids away for Christmas because we couldn't spend Christmas at home because our house was too cold. Because this sucker left my house open to the elements all winter until I had to scrape up another dub to finish my project. I just want to put that out there. So all the people that feel like they might have a problem with what I'm saying, I don't really care. Y'all might say it ain't got nothing to do with youth football. This sucker is running around representing youth football programs right now. In the
They're telling people worry about who's coaching where.
Running around telling people who should and shouldn't be coaching. When he's a thief, he was arrested when everybody was on flights to Orlando. He was getting arrested. He's going to court actively right now in the city of Manchester. He currently have 2 civil cases and 1 criminal case in the court right now, and he had a failure to appear on that Milford case. You better show up to court, Negro. You're going to jail. Now, anybody, you or anybody who feels some type of way about what I'm saying, I don't give a damn. Y'all know how y'all can handle whatever y'all feel on your chest. Now, Tito, in 4 minutes, let's move on. I'm done with it. In 4 minutes, we're going to have some ladies on that's going to talk to us from the perspective of the single mom.
Being a single mother.
And these aren't single mothers that's these aren't single mothers that don't know the game, right? We specifically are getting on single moms that knows the game. They know, like I'll give you an example. One of the moms that's coming on, she went through the process, Tito, and is headed into the big time process. She went through the youth football game. She played for the Hurricanes and the Wildcats and Capital Prep. She did all 3, right? She did the high school thing, did Avon O Farms, big time prep school, and now her son has multiple offers from Division I, SEC schools, Big Ten schools, etc. We'll be able to get that perspective of how she navigated that as a single mom, right? She'll get that. We'll also get the perspective of the moms currently going through the earlier process in which she went through. And I want to ask them in some of the questions that Trev was proposing. You know what I'm saying? Do they feel it's certain spaces that they need not enter as a single mom? You know what I'm saying? Is there spaces that they feel like they need to stay out of? Or do they feel like, yo, you know what? All aspects of this youth football thing is mine, and as a mom, I'm going to jump in and entertain and be involved. I think it's important. I think it's important that we, that we talk about it, that we engage it, and that we have a conversation. And another thing we're going to talk tonight later on, y'all, which I think is good, is that conversation that hit the thread about the new age coaches can only coach talent instead of developing kids. Because, Tito, that thread to me had a lot of people lying.
Capping out there, T.
I'm gonna address
it. Capping.
Because it was a lot of lies under that.
Capping.
It was a lot of people talking to make other people feel good.
Capping.
You know what I'm saying?
I thought it was laughable. I told you I ain't respond because I'll save what I'm gonna say for what I was gonna say for tonight. But there were some unbelievable things that were being stated that by people.
I don't think coaches was telling the truth under that chat. It's it's all about win. Everybody is about winning. Everybody, dog. I'm not gonna get into it right now. I'm gonna save that because I think it's important that we talk about it properly, that we talk about it properly. You know what I'm saying? I think it's important that we talk about it properly.
Let's get our first guest on.
I told them 9:15, so they're going to start jumping on. We're going to get them all on. We're going to welcome them properly. And if y'all have questions for these ladies, please ask. If y'all got questions for these ladies, please ask. And I think it's important that we ask the ladies questions. We ask the men questions. I think, just for the record, that's Paul Butler case again. Y'all can look it up. I think I should insert that throughout the podcast.
Why don't you put it in the comments?
I know they'll run around and
put it in
they'll
the
run
comments.
around and go call them.
Put the court doc in the comments.
People don't care about that much. I get it. It's my issue, but it's also my podcast. So I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about. Y'all don't like it, don't tune in. I got to get that off my chest. I'm feeling some type of way. Somebody called me and said,
I said, try to explain the context of what he was doing, trying to stop other brothers from coaching that long served their punishments 20 years ago. You worried about who doing what? Meanwhile, what has Bridgeport brought to the table in the last 5 years? You know, you worry about stopping what other brothers is doing, but your own backyard ain't right. And the audacity to try to ostracize other coaches that did half of what you did to people and try to act like other people are wrong for giving people chances is beyond me when you got all of that going on.
And he did. The worst part about it is he did this to somebody that was just, like, I was genuinely this dude friend, like real talk. Like
shit,
when I'm your friend, bro, like you could call. Like my property was getting done. This is how much cool we was. My property was getting done. This man walked up. It was like, yo, I could do this for you. Now I knew he did houses. I don't know. I'm like, yo, you could do it. Boom. Why give the money to somebody else when I can give it to my peoples? I'm a businessman. I got above 140. It's some people that give me business off GP. And there's some people that go through me because they want to see if I'm official with it. And I get that. But one thing that anybody that ever do business with me could tell you, I ain't never needed money bad enough to screw you out of no paper. Never. I tell all the time, I'm going to say it, New London, I did their first set of uniforms maybe about 3-4 years ago.
Oh, 2021. I remember you had to redo them all
I
over.
had them in writing approving the uniform before I did it, color scheme and everything. $7,000 worth of uniforms came in, Tito. I gave it to them. They said, damn, that's the wrong color. I said, yo, you approved it though. But you know what I did? Because recognizing it was their youth, I reordered the whole order, didn't charge them nothing, and gave them the whole new set. I ate the whole first order. 200 plus uniforms was in my garage. I end up selling those at a discounted price later, but I lost around $3,000-$4,000 only because it wasn't worth me not doing the right thing for a customer. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people go, shit, I wouldn't have took that L. I got you. I did, but you know what? I ate off the fruits of my labor because I did good business. And guess what? It turned around years later. I ended up doing business with them again. Had I stiffed them on it, we wouldn't have done business the second time. And it ended up making me more money than I lost. And so, like, it's just mentally, I can't comprehend a dude that would do that. You know what I'm saying? And at this point in life, it's best that he stay where he at, I stay where I'm at, and we let the courts handle it. Don't worry. Hopefully, y'all see him on CBS News. I'm going to stream it live. All right, let's get it. I'm waiting for where are the ladies that's supposed to join? I know y'all ain't get scared. Come on, Chaz. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, Chaz firing away today. He must be up. He must not be working tonight.
Bro. This is natural sea moss. That's natural sea moss, Chaz. Don't try to play me. Hey, all right. So Tito, I'm gonna talk to the ladies. Get on. So here's a couple things I want to hear from these young ladies that's gonna be joining us. One, what did they think or what did they feel about hearing that possibly women may have came into our space, and that from a lot of males view the fact that since there's more women entering our space, that possibly it brought the space down. Do they agree? Do they disagree? And if so, why or why not? Let's hear the other side, right? We heard one side. I think we're entitled to hear the other side, agree or disagree. I think that these young ladies should have a voice, right? Another question I got, Tito, for them is, okay, they're raising, so we got one on. We got one on. I'm gonna wait for one more to come on, so we bring two at a time. They're raising young men and possibly women from a single mom's perspective. So my question to them, my second question to them, Tito, would be, are there certain aspects of their kids' athletic careers that they just do not enter? Because Tito, as a father, I don't think there's an aspect of Lucas' football career you're not going to be in as a part of.
Oh, but that's both my kids. There's not going to be
Right.
not a part of it that I'm not.
Well, I'm just saying football because Lucas will play football, Lily won't. Right? We're talking about football. There's not I want to know, do they view it like that? Is there aspect of football that as a mom, they like, you know what? I need to stay back.
We're not going to answer for them or even speak. We're going to let them speak their piece. We let these other brothers speak their piece.
Let's bring the first one on. Shamir, how you doing?
I'm all right, guys. What's going on?
Well, what's up, Shamir?
And just so everybody aware, Shamir has a 12-year-old son who plays football for the Hartford Hurricanes, and he plays flag and what?
He's 13 now. 13.
Oh, he's 13. My bad. He's 13. What other sports do he do? Do he only do football?
Only football.
Only football. All right, so Shamir, my first question, and I'm gonna ask the other ones after they come on, but you're going to get the first question. So a couple weeks ago, we had a conversation about women that have started to enter the youth sports world more, possibly started to bring down the youth football, the culture, the brand, and all of that in New England specifically. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree? What's your thoughts on that? The fact that that's how some men feel.
I agree, and I disagree with some of it. Tell
me why you agree. Tell me the agree part first, because that they're gonna find that probably shocking, right? That you agree to that.
I stay in my lane. I don't I do the teen mom stuff because I've been asked. Other than that, I kind of let him do what he do. It's not really my place. I know football, but I mean, I'm cool. If I could be in the stands, I would.
So, your son is on the team. Let's say Hartford Hurricanes. I'll use us as an example since we can't use nobody else. Your son is on the team, and my wife just texted me something crazy. Your son is on the team, and he's not playing as much as you like. Do you say something? Do you leave it alone? How do Shamir handle that situation?
Nah, I'm not talking to the coach. That's him and the coach.
If Zay not getting, we all know Zay. You telling me if Zay not getting time?
I don't have that problem. But the thing is like, if he not working hard and doing what he's supposed to do, and you're not getting no playtime, it's that simple. We not gonna sit here and it's been times where he hasn't where he felt like he didn't get, not so much in football, but with flags sometimes or sevens. It's but that's not a conversation for me to have with the coach.
Right. I like that. I bet right now a bunch of men going, say it again for the people in the back. So let me ask you this, Shamir. Have you look. See, I told you this, some women is getting it. Some women get it, and I think others.
Hello?
He said, said you won't ever have that problem. All right, so let me ask you this. So let's say that Zay on the team, and he comes in the car and he starts talking bad about his coaches. Has that happened first? Have your son ever brought some bad energy about a coach to you? You can hear me? I don't think she can hear us, Tito. Shamir. I don't think she can hear me. Hold on. As one of the co-parent and set up for DJ, I gladly help him navigate through things and supported him through. See, hey Tito, you can hear it. You can hear me.
Yeah. Yep.
I said, have your son ever brought to you a conversation privately that about a coach that he disagreed with, like he didn't like what the coach did or something like that?
Yeah, he has.
What was your response? Like, Did you go check the coach? Did you tell him to talk to the coach? Like, what was it? How did you handle that?
Yeah, I had him talk to the coach.
You have him talk to the coach.
It's so we talk all the time. Like, there's been times where he's been frustrated with football, like where he's like, I don't want to play or I don't want to do this. So it's like at that point, you got to give me a solution. Like, I'm not gonna fight your battles. I'm not doing it because that means I got to go talk to a grown man. And if it come off wrong, then what? So me, I feel like that's their dad's job. That's not my job.
Right. So if the father wasn't there, at the time to address it, you wait until the dad there or ask Zay to address it as a young man. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, listen, it's me and Zay at this point, so Zay has to address it himself. And if it don't get addressed how he wanted, then I'll step in.
I think it's I'm afraid that Tito, that a lot of the women we're bringing on today are probably not the women that Trevor was speaking of, or that is in the realm of, I think, what Ty was trying to allude to with
I don't think Trev's topic was shooting at women. Like I said, I
didn't say shooting. Don't put my
but I'm
words.
saying, I'm not even saying shooting.
I didn't say he was shooting at women.
I think Ty did a terrible job of what he was trying to say. What he was trying to say.
But Trev's that podcast was a good one, I feel like, because that's the reality of it. Like, I feel like we got to be more dominant than the men out here, and that's crazy. Like, why do I gotta? It's not a woman's sport; it's a male sport.
We want to welcome Kia, by the way, but keep going, Shamir.
How y'all doing?
So it's like,
Well, some of that, Shamir, in my opinion, is because us as men holistically have failed this space.
So now we got to step up. Like,
there ain't enough sturdy cats. There ain't enough sturdy cats to go around. Look at how Phil had to enter the podcast tonight. These are the type cats we got. Affecting the space. So therefore, it's left the lane open for people to step in there that had to take the flag and run with it, where it should be us doing it, but for whatever reason, it's not. So I still Kia, put it on us.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I know you're a little bit out of youth football, but I'll just talk to it in general. It was stated on a podcast some time ago that more women entering the sport has made youth football in the state of Connecticut. I think it was football holistically, but youth football over the last 10 years, it has made it I don't know what's the best word, less desirable, I guess is the better word, or it brought down the culture of it. What's your thoughts on that? Like, what
you said with moms being involved?
Yeah, just women in general. Moms, just with women being involved more, right? At the board levels, involved with the culture of it more. The men, like, I mean, at the board levels, at the coaching levels. I just want to get the opposite, the perspective from the moms, because we haven't heard from y'all, but we kept hearing from the coaches and the men. And I wanted to hear the other side on, do you guys think that is that?
Hey, Phil, real quick, Phil, how many male-driven boards are there?
99%.
Where they're all males?
All males? I don't know one.
There goes your answer.
No, wait. There's a program.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know one. You can tell me.
There's programs. I'm not going to single them out, but we're not going to do that. At where? At the league, we're talking about organization. Oh, no. I'm talking about organization.
Organizations. The chair director's a male. Chair director's got as much power.
Right, but not all organizations cheer and football are together. They may be under the same flag, but they're not together. You get what I'm saying? They're not together, depending on how you look at it. I'm saying I know of an organization that's ran only by males.
So I think football period has always been a male dominated sport. and business, depending on what level you're talking about. But I like that the females in these last couple years been stepping up and stepping in. You know, like myself, like I'm a football mom to the day I die, but I like it for those women that are doing it the proper way. Let me say that. For those women that aren't being messy and causing controversy with the team, and being messy with the coaches, you know, and the behind the scenes stuff and all that stuff take place. I respect the women that's involved, because it is a male dominated sport. And I still to this day tell a lot of females that ask me about signing their kids up for football, and I'm like, it's male dominated. So if you ain't tough and you're not willing to learn, don't even step to the forefront. Don't even step to the forefront, because it ain't gonna be for you.
So Kia, have you ever checked a coach because your kid was mad at something and the kid didn't like it, or did you tell Buck? And for everybody who want to know who Kia's son is, most of y'all know him, Karan. His name is Buck. He's over at Avon Farms. He played for the Hurricanes and the Wildcats. He also played for Capital Prep, right? Mm-hmm. So he did. So she has an understanding of different programming, and now that process, that transition, he's coming up to a senior and already have multiple D1 offers. So that's why I just wanted to predicate my question with. So have you ever checked a coach for, let's say Karan didn't like, so I ain't getting enough time. Did you ever go to a coach and get mad, or did you tell Karan to address it?
In youth, no, I haven't. But like now in high school, if he does have a complaint or something like that, I kind of advise him to address it, because I'm not always going to be there to talk for him or to advocate for him. And that's kind of what I want him to know how to do on his own. But also, too, I ain't really with all that complaining. Like, go with it.
Exactly.
Go with it. I'm not with the complaining. Like, if it's a problem and you know what the problem is, especially if it's something that your coach is asking of you, fix it. Fix it, because I'm definitely not one of them moms that just, my son come tell me something and I'm running calling the coach. I don't like that. I am a mom that lets the coaches be the coach, but I do, certain situations, I do know sometimes parents will and have stepped in, but my personal experiences, no.
I'm gonna give y'all an example of what I'm talking about, and the reason I'm doing this is I know that moms are watching, and I saw both of y'all, right, as kids, parents in youth football. To me, if there is a single woman model, you guys follow the model. I tell Tito all the time, yo, Shamir is just like Kia, right? Because Kia's out. I tell Tito that all the time, bro. Y'all sons both running backs. They both remind me of like they were the best running backs in their time, and it's so many similarities. And y'all both play the back row, which is weird for kids who are stars. Let's be honest. You guys have seen, you young ladies have seen kids who have a lot of youth football talent. Usually their parents aren't the ones way in the back and willing to be quiet and watch, regardless of what's happening. Whether they're getting a lot of time, no time, if they're not put in the right position. I coached your son, Kia, when you was, I never heard from you. Like, we talk like laughing and joking,
right?
But even in losses, I never heard from you. Like, it was never like, Phil, you should have. And I seen Larry lose with Shamir as a coach, and I didn't see her screaming at him, you should have gave my son the ball. And so I'm gonna ask these questions, and both of y'all can answer. So last year I had a parent pull a kid out of practice because the practice ran 2 minutes over. I don't care what you're saying. I'm talking 802, 803. Give me my son, F that, and pull a kid out of practice. I've also had a parent who didn't send their kid to Florida but felt they were entitled. It didn't play the regional championship either, but felt they were entitled to a regional championship ring and what they got at nationals. Right? I want to. So, like,
That's a
I want
immediate
y'all to
no.
help me help people. Right? 'Cause at this
Immediate no.
I want
Immediate
y'all
no.
to help me help people, because honestly, some parents do not understand this part. Like, it's not their fault. A lot of these parents are just entering youth football. They may have an 8U, a 9U, a 10U, right? Maybe an 11U first year. They don't really know how to feel. Their emotions isn't. So what do you think about those instances? And do you have advice for those parents? Either one could go first. I don't care.
Take away the entitlement. You got to get out of the entitlement mindset.
I agree. Kia?
I look at it like, if the parent ain't gonna be as dedicated as the kid, back
Gotta
out.
go.
If you ain't doing it for the long haul, back out. Your kid can go to band camp or something like that. Like, it's serious to me. So practice running over late.
Relate.
That's
all the time.
That's not a problem. I don't care if it was an hour over. We're not leaving until coach say it's done. We're not leaving until coach say y'all got whatever y'all working on is right. Going to nationals, but not playing in the championship games. I'm sorry, but why are you here today? Like, no. We needed you a week ago when we was playing in that game. It's an immediate no for me. Like, dedication is all the time, 7 days a week. You're locked in.
Yeah.
You don't get to pick and choose when you want to leave practice early versus we running late, so I'm pulling my son, or nah, we ain't making it to the championship game, but we going to Florida. Like, that's out. That's not dedication. That's not teaching your son dedication.
Anything.
It's not. And a lot of these parents today want their kids to be great, but they don't want to put in the work.
There's no work.
That's true.
They don't want to put in the work. So the parents, my advice is, you can tell your kid all day, every day, and send them all these videos on Instagram and Facebook and lock in. But it starts top tier. If you're not locked in, the kid is not going to be locked in. If you saying we got to leave early, your son going to have that I got to leave early mentality. But if you saying, nah, we staying, or it shouldn't, first of all, in my household, it ain't even no conversation. Don't even bring it up. Don't even bring it up. So
Listen, I'm tired.
Yeah.
Like, he do football year round. I'm tired. Like, I don't even know the last time I went on vacation.
No,
my
that's a
PTO
fact.
go to tournaments in Florida and stuff like
You
that.
have to go to Disney World. If you go to Orlando, might as well save up
That's
and go to
vacation,
Disney
right?
World, the greatest place on earth. Hey, so our
But
next,
it's time consuming. Like, it's a grind. Like, you're grinding with your kid. It's like, it's long days. It's like, I go to work, get out of work, pick him up, we're at practice. We get home, it's eat, bed. Like, that's the fall season. During off season, it's trainers 2-3 times a week, flag, sevens tournaments. Like, it don't stop. Like, and nothing runs on time. Like, everything is always late. So you might as well just say you have no life.
No,
if
that's
your
a
child is
fact.
playing football.
And
Like,
as your kid gets older, like
it gets
Phil
worse.
said, I've been out of the youth for a couple years now, but as your kids get older, it goes from training 2 or 3 times a week to 2 and 3 times a day. Like,
But
parents,
that's what it takes. That's
please,
what people don't understand. That's what it takes.
they don't.
That's
If
what it
y'all
absolutely
not in
takes.
it for the long haul, please go
Don't
do
do
something
it.
else.
and listen,
There
you
is
guys,
no-
Kia's son is operating from you're getting a high level intensity, a high perspective. And what I mean by high is her son is probably one of the best, one of the most highly recruited athletes in football in the state of Connecticut this up and coming season, from SEC schools, Big Ten schools, etc. So you're hearing her say 2 or 3 times a week, a day.
A day.
If you don't want that, don't want Alabama. You can't forget about Alabama.
Well,
Don't
yeah.
want Western Connecticut State University. right?
Yeah.
Like if you don't want it, you can't possibly want it because this it's you listen. I tell my kids this all the time. I used to say this when Karan when Buck played. As a matter of fact, I used to say this when Kai played too. You don't get to win a championship or accomplish your goal and not sacrifice something. So the question everybody got to ask is, what are you willing to give up? I tell my kids all the time, if you're not willing to give up fun, if you're not willing to give up being late, if you're not willing to give up being if you don't want to give up nothing, you don't have to give up nothing. Just don't expect to win or reach your goal. You don't have to give up nothing. But if you want to make it, you got to give something up. What you want? You got to give up pain. Okay, I'm a play hurt. My finger gonna hurt. My leg gonna hurt. My brain gonna hurt. I want it. Give up.
Well,
fun.
you got to play, and you got to play sick. And you got to play sick. You got to be able to work sick.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be able to practice sick.
Playing sick is mandatory. You
Right?
you damn near got to be dead not to play. If you ain't
They
dead,
played a regional game with the flu.
you're gonna play.
We
You're
feeding
gonna
them
play.
Pedialyte on the sideline. Like
Listen.
it's that serious.
You're gonna play.
So I want y'all to help the parents from the other perspective because I think what I'm about to ask you is what I think most parents grapple with, and even coaches I think grapple with what's the best way because I don't think we all agree. What advice do you have for a parent that got their kids with coaches that is not properly teaching or developing them? Y'all may not have ran into that, but looking back,
We ran into that.
Because Shamir, you're at the end of your youth football, right? You got another year, and it's been over about 3 years for you, Kia. And if you have an 8U parent or 9U or 10U parent just getting in the game, and they kid is with coaches who just ain't, they may be good. You may like them. They may be good guys. Bad coaches
Gotta go.
People, right? But they're not getting your kid to get over that rock. What's your advice to them?
You got to do some research and find a program that's going to do that. I mean, it took us all the way to us getting to Hartford 2 seasons ago for him to get properly developed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think if the option to change, if the option is there to change teams, then cool. But if not, then I think you got to speak to like the next chain of command to ask, like, what's up with these coaches? Like, I don't feel they're knowledgeable, to teach my son or to coach my son. Or I think definitely it's a conversation that need to be had because I know I was big on that, especially when Karan was transitioning into high school. I had that conversation with you, Phil. I said, I need somebody that's going to prepare him for the next level. So at this level, he got to be mentally and physically ready for that next level. So it wasn't even a thought to have him not play for you because I needed him to be under somebody's wing that I trusted. And I knew that was going to guide him the right way. So having the right coaches it's important.
I do think that's important. And I think that I was about to ask the question, but you already said it. I think that coaches that teach kids properly and coaches, this for y'all, this is only my perspective, take it how you want it. I don't think you have to go to a parent, make her like you to get her trust or his trust.
Right.
I think you got to do right by their kids, coach their kids properly. Parents that's locked in with their children already know when their child is getting better. You don't have to go, oh, you see he's switching arms now with the ball. They saw it in the game. Like a parent that's locked in with their kid, go, oh, snap, he's switching arms now. Like they're locked in with their kid, right? And they recognize that a coach is making a difference in their child's life, and they start to trust them. And you said that. So I think that from a coach's perspective, we got to understand that parents are watching their kids. Like I tell all my coaches and coaches,
excuse me, let Jerry in, please, before she lynches
Jerry
us all.
is not here. Jerry is not here.
She right there. She coming on.
She ain't there, bro. I'm sitting here. She's on the screen. She's black. When Jerry pictures show up, I'll add her. She's not there. Her audio or video not there. Now she's there twice. Look. Hi, Jerry.
There she goes. See?
Hey, Jerry.
What up, Jerry?
Right. Yo, look, Jerry's on the back end bullying Tito, who's on air bullying me to get him in. You see how that works?
As he should.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. All right,
Here
so
we go. I knew this was gonna go this way. Get her on, get her off. Let's go.
Okay, so we're talking about Jerry to bring you up to speed. I just asked them about giving advice to parents that well, I was talking to coaches. The last thing I was talking to was coaches about how to gain the parents' respect and dedication through. Now I'm gonna give an example. When Larry first came to the Hartford Hurricanes, Jerry used to always come up to me and tell me to cut him, kick him out the program. He's not a Hurricane coach. She didn't like Larry. This is a true story. I say this all the time. She didn't like him. They were undefeated. It didn't matter. It didn't matter that they were undefeated. Jerry didn't like Larry. I ain't never seen. He ain't from Hartford. He ain't. Jerry go crazy. I'm like, yo, he's a good coach. Like, give me time. Now Jerry won't play for no other coach but Larry. Like, so it's a 360. And I say that to say it matters. As parents see their child progress, they will trust you and then put them in your hands. So let me ask y'all this though. Did y'all have to learn the game of football? I think this is going to help parents. Did you have to gain a certain knowledge level of football yourself as single mothers in order to be able to tell when your child is getting better or not? Because I think if you're not knowledgeable about the sport, you absolutely have no idea if they're getting better. You just be out there, oh, look at my son running around, not knowing he's lining up.
Yeah, I'm laughing, Kia, because me and Kia are cousins. So as kids, our fathers played flag football. Like,
our fathers played together.
They played together. We had the knowledge, but
Yeah.
like Larry brought my son a long way. I'm not gonna hold you. When Isaac came in, I did not like Larry. I didn't like him. Oh, he ain't playing my son. I know what my son could do, this, that, but my son did. Like, he needed a lot of work. He did. And on the off season, I let him go with Larry. I let him play on the flag, 7-on-7s. And when we came back, it was a big difference. A big deal. Like, and me and Larry locked in ever since that. But I just feel like at the end of the day, like, the parents gotta allow the coaches to be the coaches. You get what I'm saying? That's it. That's all.
But did you, Jerry, from your dad's teaching you and Kia being around the game, did that help y'all recognize that your son how did you know Isaac needed a lot of work? Is it because you knew the game and you knew he wasn't where he should have been?
Well, yes, absolutely. Because at the end of the day, like, Isaac never had like no set position. You get what I'm saying? Like, when he came into his first year, like, he was fast, he could catch, he could run. Like, so, he really never had no set position. But when he did get placed as a wide receiver, to me, I see it clear as day. Like, I wouldn't want it no other way. Yes, he's fast, but I feel like the wide receiver is like the best position for Isaac. Like, you could throw anything to him. And guess what? With his back turn, at the end of the day, he's going to catch it. Like, I just felt like, and my father wasn't no wide receiver. I learned the game from being a little girl, just always going to the flag tournaments with him, stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. I knew football when I brought my son into the sport, but my son didn't know football, but I did. But I didn't know Larry, and I didn't understand like what he was trying to do. But I feel like Isaac's been placed like in the best position, and I'm telling you, he's gonna be a dog this year. So they better watch.
Say it again.
He's
Say
a
it
dog.
again.
He's fearless and he's ready. He want all the
it
smoke,
again.
just like his mother.
I feel like with me, I wasn't knowledgeable when my kids first started. And my father played football. My father is in the Hall of Fame for Weaver. Yes, WHS.
Yes.
We talk about that later though. But yeah, my father is in the Hall of Fame for Weaver for football, but I wasn't. Even being a cheerleader myself for Weaver, I was just out there looking cute in the skirt. I wasn't really mentally locked in the game the way I am now until I had two sons and I had to learn it. But I think how I became knowledgeable, Phil, I record everything.
What?
I got film. My oldest son will be 25 in August, and I have his Hurricane games
and the nights.
And back in the nights, the Hartford nights, I have film in my phone from back then. And even with Karan is about to be a senior now in high school, I got Tiny Mike film
I
in my
remember his
phone
first
from when he was
touchdown.
at the
that
Hurt.
reverse.
Yes, his first
Ever.
touchdown. So me learning the game, Phil, I did, you know how like football players have to do film study? I used to do my own film study with the film in my phone. And I would look and see, like, as the years go by, how they progressed and like different things, and you know how to stand in a proper stance, or how to switch the ball in their hands when they running, and just all the running back stuff that they had to learn over the years. That's how I learned. It's actually a pet peeve now. I can't sit with nobody in the stands and they yelling stupid stuff. It irks me. Don't even talk to me. The game day, don't come sit next to me talking about who was at the club last night, because my son, they about to run this play. I gotta, and I don't want your voice. I don't want your voice in my film. Now I gotta put music. Now I gotta add music because you talking nonsense in my film. Like my mother will tell you when we had a game, she'd be like this. Don't talk. When we're on offense, my kids are offensive players. Please be quiet on offense, because I'm recording and I'm studying and I'm learning. And even when we're home on Sundays and watching college football on Saturdays, I swear to God, I'm asking my kids, what does 1st and goal mean? What does 1st and 10 mean? Like, that's how I learn. Like, I have to ask, because and I'm gonna tell y'all this. I don't know how many women on this podcast watching tonight, but I'm gonna just say it because it been irking me. I hate during football season when these chicks be on Facebook, go Cowboys, go Dallas, go for it. You don't even know 2 people that play on that team.
Yeah, you crazy.
Stop it. I'm here to say it. I'm here to say it. If all you know is touchdown and field goal, you're not a football
go
fan.
home. Go lay down.
Right?
Stop saying on Sundays, yeah, Cowboys. You don't even know the coach name.
No, and none of y'all was Redskins fans with me. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym before he came. Not every young lady on Facebook got a JD5 jersey. Let me go, Shamir, talk to me. How did you?
I didn't
you know the game.
No, I knew football because like my dad was a big sports fan, so I always watched it. But when he entered youth, that was all his dad. I was against it. I was like, he's not playing football. And then he started playing and I was lost. Like, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? But so I just had to watch, and I just would be on the sidelines, and you know, I would ask his dad, like, what does this mean? Then we would watch football. And I'm like, Kia, I record everything. Like, I've leveled up a little bit, and now I got somebody to come record because my son don't like me yelling in the videos, or they be half-assed. So I be yelling and the camera be way past, and so we got somebody. But and his father used to be like on him, like they would watch film. Like soon as the game was over on the ride home, it's like,
we love him too, whoever that was.
We didn't do this. You didn't do this right, or you didn't do that. Like, you know, and I used to be like, damn, back off him. He just like, you know what I'm saying? But it helped to just get the knowledge, like, oh, how he wasn't running right or how he don't hold the ball right. So it's a learning process. If you dedicate it and this is what your son want to do, you gotta know the game.
And too, another advice I could say for moms, dads, whoever, film goes a long way. You know how many coaches at a college level have reached out to me to be like, hey, you got film on your son? We need to see some film. I can ask proudly, what year do you want to see? What you want? What you want to look at? Recent? You want to see where he started from? Like, it's important. If you don't know how to do it yourself, get somebody there to record. Yeah, right. I learned how to make my own highlights. I learned how to put the music, how to edit. My oldest son told me, Mom, make sure you start off with the best plays. The most powerful plays go first. Put them up front first.
Yep. Listen, I'm bad with that.
I'm bad with that.
Listen, y'all getting Jews from mothers that's telling you, hey, I'm going to tell you what I found interesting. Y'all probably didn't put this together. Already, all of y'all had a father that played the game. That's what all 3 of y'all have already stated. And secondly, all of y'all learned the game before y'all started badgering, getting mad at coaches. So your first year parents out there, I'm gonna give you some help. One, before you learn the game, don't go start telling no coach what he should and shouldn't do regarding your child. I don't think that you've earned that right. I ain't saying you ever really earned that right. I'm saying it's clear that initially that shouldn't be. If you're a first year or second year parent, fall back and learn the game, because you can't help your child if you don't know what's going on. And I think, Tito, you always say that they don't get it right. Who are they to question us when you have put in 20 plus years and the parent come off the street? And yes, they fight bigger than everybody and fast. And in their mind, he should be running the ball. They don't understand that you can put him at running back and she'll feel good, or you can make him lead block and you guys can win. Right? You still have a duty to do what's best for the team. Right. Even if it's not what's best for that person's child.
You also have a duty to stick through it with the good and the bad. Too many times now when things ain't going perfect, people just take their kids and go. I don't think that's teaching, their kids are being misguided that way too. You got to take the good and the bad, and you got to allow them to experience the good with the bad. Because I think a big part of what the boys go through in football is you got to learn how to win. You got to learn how to lose. You got to be even killed with both. And
that was my next question too.
Too many times.
Because we didn't know how to lose. We didn't know how to lose. I'm going to speak for us. We did not know how to lose. So that first year we went down to Florida, we didn't know how to lose.
Right. But what I'm saying,
it wasn't a big deal.
But you guys did lose the first year with Leary, right?
But what I'm
we
saying
lost the first year because we didn't know how to lose.
Right.
We wasn't getting smoked or anything like that.
Lose in Naugatuck?
Say it again.
Regional game. Yeah, he
regional game, right? Game. And I know I was with Kai when we lost, right? And so my point, the reason I said that is all of your kids felt the agony of defeat.
Right.
So the success is so much better. When you feel agony of defeat, then the success means something, right? And the reason I say that is the stories I'm telling you came from first-year parents whose child went undefeated in New England. First year ever. Never lost a football game, and you think you get to criticize. Your son don't know what the hell he's doing yet. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think about it, that story is even worse. Like your son has not even felt the agony of defeat in order for you or your child to be able to say anything to a coach and our program. Who has led your son to being undefeated? Go ahead, Tito.
My point was that you got to allow the kids to go through that, though. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's built for that. Some people just quick to pull the plug on the kid and the team and just start park hopping. You got to allow kids to grow through that for them to understand how it all comes together. Because the winning always is going to be high, but the losing hurts more. Like, there's no doubt about it. You don't be happy when you win, you're only happy for a little bit of time. When you lose, that should have stayed with you the whole goddamn off season. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing will stay with you the off season. So I think they're both important. Allowing your kids to grow and go through some shit that ain't always in their favor is important. And allowing them to go through it. Because ultimately the parents hold the decision over their children. And
that's a fact.
That's a fact. And
these parents need to understand too, like once you get past the youth level and depending on where they end up in high school, the coach don't only recruit your kid, they recruit you too. So if you come in with nonsense, they can bypass your kid for the sake of you.
Absolutely.
And a lot of these parents don't even realize that they are the reasoning that their kids aren't great. And truth be told is because you're not great. You act the goddamn fool.
Listen, kids,
it makes the coach bypass you. So a lot of these ignorant parents out here that like to talk trash to their coaches and they don't even know that the next coach always go back to the last coach to be like, hey, how's this kid's family?
Yeah,
How is this kid at practice? How does this kid react to big games that we may just lose? Like y'all don't even know the half of what these coaches do behind the scenes. They are evaluating the parents just as much as the kids. So please, parents, teach your kids, allow your kids to be coachable.
I've been
Be
saying it.
coachable.
All of you guys went to Florida in the youth world. One of our topics that we're going to talk about, we might as well say it now since you guys are here, since you ladies are here, because somebody going to get on me for saying the word guys. Since you ladies are here, let's be, technically sound and all
Politically correct, Phil.
and politically correct. That's the word I'm going to. But I noticed that every year the successful teams in Florida, and I don't mean success by winning the national championship. I mean success by the trip. Y'all know that trip can go two ways. It can be good or bad.
A disaster. It could be a disaster.
Talk to me about the camaraderie that was needed in order to make the trip a success. Because I've seen all three of you involved. And like I'd say, I personally, like Kia, when we went, right? You stayed in the house. You cook. We happened to Pop Warner let us stay in the Airbnb that year, so we got lucky. We stayed in the house. You and Tiff was cooking, and Anne-Marie, like everything was taken care of. I was in a different location, but I didn't care because y'all was in the house. You didn't really have parents like you. I didn't see Jerry or you or Shamir ever going to another parent to say, the team mom and them coaches, they ain't really that good. I don't think parents understand how detrimental that is to the entire team. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like, I know you may have a problem as a parent. You need to isolate your issue. Shut up about it or be super vocal where it's just you. But putting parents on your team to dislike someone and expecting greatness, I don't think you can have it both.
In Florida, we are as one.
Right.
It's us against them in Florida. That's how I feel. I don't care which age level. I don't care how many teams made it. When we all get down there, we are as one. If I ain't like you in Hartford, guess what? We besties down here. And I'm going to help you, help your team. And I expect for you to help me, help my team. And however which way, we got to take care of these kids and provide for these kids and making sure they getting their homework done, making sure they showing up to practices, making sure they got their oranges and stuff at halftime, doing everything we need to do as a group, because we all go to each other's games when we down there.
Right. Yep.
Everybody's lined up to go see everybody play. So when we down there, we are as one. Leave that ignorant stuff home. It gets us nowhere. When we feuding and hating on each other when we down there. It's us against all them teams.
Well, it will kill. I mean, you already touched on the topic, and we might as well talk about it while they're here. Parental, there's a couple things that could destroy a team. A team could destroy a team. A staff could destroy a team. But there's a part of the parental chemistry that can absolutely either make or break your team. Absolutely. And I think people lose sight of that when y'all think you whispering in the crowd and nobody hearing you. What you doing, is tearing the team apart, because now you're creating division amongst the troops. And it could start with the parents, because parents talk, kids listen, kids repeat what they hear, and then that gets brought to the team, and that could be an unsettling dynamic.
Especially at their age bracket. At their age bracket, it's like detrimental. You get what I'm saying? So for me, like the last 2 years, we was there. The first year when I went down there, I was the only team mom, but Shamir was their mom. So she was on board. Like when I say like we made it happen for our kids, like when we're out at the pool, like all the teams that was there, like here, I'm gonna piggyback on that. Like when we here, we're one being one sound. That's it. That's all. Unfortunately, this year our games was like at the same time. So we wasn't able to support each other, but like offside of that, like it's just like one being one sound. I learned a lot from the first year to this year, like just like basically
way better year. The second year,
the second year like was amazing, and I feel like
because I was on the fence about coming back after the first year.
Because you was halfway behaving this year. That's because you was halfway behaving. You was halfway behaving.
It's always my birthday when I get there. So I'm gonna be, but guess what? When it comes to the kids
is good.
One thing's for sure, 2 for certain. I'm gonna get in that kitchen. I'm gonna go to that store. I'm gonna spend money, and everybody gonna be straight.
I've never seen that before. She cooked every night.
But
Every
night.
every night.
with
That's
the
what I
whole
do.
squad.
That I'm gonna do that regardless.
Hi, what up?
Hey Phil.
What up, coach?
Yo, I'm chilling, brother. How you? Hey,
Hey,
Kia, you know what's funny?
sis.
Good. What's up, y'all?
You said your father was in the Hall of Fame, and just to think his grandson was the offensive coordinator at the school, he was a Hall of Fame, and that's 360. I just had to put that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
Hey, so as we talk about Florida, and look, I think this is important for parents, right? Because parents will get mad at stuff. It's a natural reaction. We get mad, right? How to handle that anger and not affect the team. I do not think. Look, we here as coaches, we can get together and we can have stories for days on parents. Not in a bad way, but when you're dealing with the community, you're obviously dealing with different people, different attitudes, different backgrounds. People react differently. Some people got problems, some don't. And so trying to communicate to people that's watching on parents, this is how you can help your team. And I'm glad that they're hearing it from you and not me or Tito, because we're coaches. So it's kind of like, yeah, them coaches always talking about parents. So let me ask a different question. I ain't gonna ask two more questions. One more question after this. A different question. So I want y'all to think back to a time where you may not have think back to a time where you didn't like what was going on with your son on a football team, right? You didn't like what was going on with your son on the football team. And you have any of you ever had a conversation with a coach? If you did, like, was it public? Did you say, hey, can I talk to you? Did you call him? If you ever had a conversation with a coach, high school, youth, whenever, how did you handle it?
I can say
It could be, I wanted to hear the raw story.
We want to hear the good, bad, and ugly, because we got stories too. So we want to hear.
So I can say, like, right now, and in my position with Karan being in high school, I feel like the type of running back that he is, he's not properly being used to his.
You told the coach that, kid?
No, I didn't tell him that. But but I wanted to. But at the same time, I know that.
Kia, somebody did tell the coach that, but I'm not gonna say who it is.
Okay.
He called me and told me.
Okay. But it wasn't me though. So
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
Somebody did go to the coach and say, you're gonna do X, Y, Z, but go ahead.
Yeah, but the reason why I didn't do it, Tito, is because I know at that next level, which is college, parents don't even have access to the head coach.
Yeah, you can't even talk to them.
So I try to learn that stuff now. Like, I don't want to be the nagging mom. My son is 17. If you feel something ain't right, you're there with your coach. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, coach, can I holler at you? Or after the game, you go to his office, or however you got to do it with your coach. But I didn't. I left it alone, and I said, I'm gonna just trust the type of athlete that my son is to make the adjustments when necessary. You know what I'm saying? Not completely disobey your coach, but make the adjustments when necessary.
There's a lesson there too.
Parent got a question for you.
Somebody said something. Look at the comment.
She said, is there consequences for speaking up for your child?
There could be with coaches. Coaching is personal. Coaching is personal. Let's not get it confused. Coach is personal, but let me get back to Kia's point. I mean, even though you may not be happy with how things are going, there's a learning lesson there too for Karan, though. You know what I'm saying? A coach ain't always going to see it your way, and how you handle that is going to help you in your career later, because it may not be peachy at the next stop neither. You know what I'm saying? I'm only speaking from experience, because obviously, as people could tell, when I was younger, I could have been a lot to deal with, borderline and attitude problem. You know what I'm saying? And I learned, through time, that I may not have always been right, even if I thought they was wrong. You get what I'm saying? Especially being a coach now. It's your job to make it better for yourself. And all you can do is keep showing up to work and giving it your all. So there's a lesson there to be made too. But go ahead, get to Cass's question, Phil.
What should parents be fearful for having a respectful opinion?
No,
Answer that.
no. I don't think parents should be fearful. I mean, anybody's entitled to have an opinion,
That's
but
what I was about to say right
your approach is always key.
Yep.
Like don't run up on a coach thinking you know more than the coach, because you don't. Because 9 times out of 10, if the coach had to switch shoes with the parents, we wouldn't know what to do on that sideline. I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, we wouldn't know. And being on the sideline and being in the stands is 2 completely different views. It's stuff that we see in the stands. A lot of times coaches don't see it. That's why they have them coaches up in the press box. But please don't try to run up on a coach or approach a coach about your opinion. Yes, your opinions matter, but your approach is key. You can always email a coach. You can always, if y'all cool like that, shoot them a text. Hey, when you're free, I like to talk to you. But your approach is always key.
Hey, give them at least 24 hours after the game. If they lose, don't be.
Yeah, don't press
That'd be
up.
crazy. Like, yeah, like.
No, that's when things
going
go
crazy on
absolutely.
everybody.
That's when things always. There should be a shutdown period after the game. Win, lose, or draw.
Yeah,
Because
like.
you get
Talk
caught
to me
up
in
in the
24
emotional
hours.
things.
Even to
You
win,
get caught.
like coaches don't
Yeah.
want to win and have you
Win.
tell
Yeah,
them.
because when you win, you
Yeah.
coming off that adrenaline. You coming off a week of preparation and adrenaline, especially if it's a tight game or a game you think that you may not have supposed to win, and then you win. You on, there's an adrenaline rush there too. Losing is worse. It's a different set of emotions. But men got emotions too, and
Yeah.
like everybody else, they're
Men
human.
got more emotions than women. Shut up.
No.
Say it
And one
again.
thing
Yes, they
too,
do.
Yes,
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 they
the hell y'all
do.
do.
That's
with
all
youth
this.
football,
God damn it.
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it 5,000. Y'all do.
I respect
I-
you.
I
Listen,
wish.
Tito.
Y'all do.
I respect
Cause
you.
I be out there sturdier than most of y'all. Don't play with me. Okay. Okay.
Hey Phil, Phil and Tito, I wish a lot of parents probably be upset about this, but I wish that youth football could be tryouts.
Yes.
That's a different
Because
conversation.
I know it's a different conversation, but
Yeah.
that's real talk. Because in real life, nothing is given and everything is earned. And that's why I feel like a lot of y'all
There's
youth coaches.
a lot of people that agree with you, Kia. There's a lot of people that absolutely agree.
Well, I'm gonna give an example. I got a lot of parents in Hartford that no longer tries out for the All-Star game because their kid didn't make the All-Star game when they tried out. Now they'll say anything that they want. Oh, it was favoritism. Anytime you don't make something, you can say it was favoritism. I didn't get a job. It was favoritism. It was nepotism. Like coaches do not want to lose. I'm going to tell parents something right now. I'm going to tell Hartford coaches. Hartford coaches is not going to get rid of somebody that's good if we were doing a tryout just to be nice. Because I don't have no coaches that don't hate losing.
Right.
And so coaches want to win. I can guarantee you a coach ain't never looked at a kid in an All-Star game and be like, yo, Homer make us win, but let's cut him because my boy's son. No, nobody says that. Now look, if it's a spot open, are they going to go with their boy over another kid, all things being equal? That right there is different than my son can't make an All-Star team because they're showing favoritism. There's a lot of kids around Connecticut that won't try out because they're and it's the parents. It's not the kids. You tell the kid to sign up, he gonna go try, right? Parents are scared that little Johnny not gonna make it, and they're scared to look at their son and say, "Yo, get better."
But as the years progress, why would you not allow them to like try out? You get what I'm saying? Kids grow every year, depending on what they do on the off season. Like they grow, so that I'm not a fan of that.
So clearly,
listen,
Cass,
my son didn't play the first year. My son didn't play. Not that I didn't feel he wasn't gonna make it, but
he made it.
Who? He didn't. His first year, he never tried. He never tried out.
Oh, he didn't try out. Oh, okay, I hear you.
He never tried out, but it's not that I didn't think he was gonna make it. Like this, your first year. Like one thing's for sure, 2 things for certain. We ain't coming because when we come full throttle. When you come, they ain't even gonna be able to turn you around. So I just felt like he just needed, more time and more experience. And we played it, and when he came, he came.
I just think it should be tryouts because that's to me that's just football. Like you can't
that would eliminate what that would eliminate is some of the parental that we're
Yes.
talking about. The
Yes.
parental, how parental dynamics can affect your team. When you're
Yeah.
taking kids that earn the right to be there, you see how some of that shit quiet down. You know what I'm saying? Because now you understand the expectations. You understand the standards. We weren't all created equally. Football is not a game that's made for everybody. And I stand by that. This ain't a game for everybody. It's not a game for everybody. And a lot of people don't understand that when they get into this.
I just don't see how,
everybody gets a chance to run the ball. Everybody gets a chance to throw the ball. It doesn't work like that.
No.
That's not how it works. That's not the reality.
I think the biggest thing that tryouts would do is it would eliminate, after you get those 25 parents who kid bust their ass and tried out, it would eliminate that parent that got an attitude because that one child ain't getting, even on the tryout team, somebody ain't gonna get the time that they want. Like, we gotta still remember that, right? Like the college team. It eliminates that parent from going to Jerry or Kia or Shamir going, man, Coach Phil dirty. You see he doing that bullshit. They're gonna be like, nah, he ain't dirty, girl. Like, we tried out for this. My son bust his ass. Nah, ain't nothing dirty. My son playing because he earned it, right? When you let everybody in, there's always another parent whose son ain't doing nothing. Don't show up to practice on time.
Let me ask you, ladies, son. I got a question.
They group up and complain as a team. Go ahead, Tito.
I got a question to all three of you ladies. None of you guys, your sons are all football year round, correct? All three of you guys' kids is football year round, or do they play other sports?
Other sports.
Isaac play basketball.
Oh, okay.
Karan does track.
Right. And what about Shamir's?
Zay's
year round football.
All year round.
Yeah. No, I was just wanting to see if they did anything else, because that's a conversation me and Phil always have internally,
right?
About where we're at now in 2025, about specialization and playing other sports and all that. So I was just curious to know.
But it's Isaac plays 7-on-7s. He played flag, but in between, like, he got a lot of people that reached out to him for basketball. Like, I come from a team of basketball. My son, me, my sister, my father. So that's something that's just there. Like, if you just look at Isaac's structure or whatever, like,
no, he's a super athlete. Isaac's a super athlete. And I ain't just saying that because you're on here. I told you when I seen him and got to watch him firsthand, I wasn't coaching. I was able to watch as, from somebody in the stands. Isaac's an athlete. I mean, I'm sure you put a volleyball in his hand, he's going to be good at it. You know what I mean? Like, he's an athlete.
Cass, to answer your question, Kia believe everybody on the team should have to try out, not the kids running the ball.
Oh yeah, no, everybody.
We just happen to have three parents who kids are skills on here, but
what I was trying to say,
have to try out.
I was trying to say, Cass,
responding to the question,
just for the children running the ball. No, it's for the whole team. I just wanted to answer a question.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is not everybody. I think what I was saying, that when you join a team, it's not like everybody gets to throw the ball, everybody gets to run the ball. You kind of, when you gauge the kids in the first week, the first 2 weeks, you kind of get an idea where the athletic level is. Once you make that as a coach, once you make that, you make your assessment. You put the kid where you feel they fit the team. Not everybody gets to throw the ball.
Talk to her from the other side. You're talking from the coach's side. What I'm saying is, so Kaz, basically what Tito's saying is, when you bring your kid out there as a parent, the coach will assess your child in the first 2 weeks and put your child where he thinks you're.
Yeah.
And wherever that is, you don't have to like it. You just have to accept it.
Right. That's what it is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Phil. Go ahead.
I was done.
Oh, I would also say, and to those parents who may not make that assessment, come back the next year. Bigger, faster, stronger. Yeah. Prove your point. Like, don't just stop. Don't just stop trying out because they didn't make it or you felt the coaches was showing favoritism. Coaches change like the 7 days of the week. It may not even be the same coaches did next year. Go back. Like, don't stop. Like for personal inference, like last summer, I took my son to camp down in Miami. We went to the University of Miami. As much success as Karan had in youth football and so far in his high school career, y'all know what the running back told me about my son? And I thought Karan did. I thought he crushed the camp. You know what he said? Oh, he wasn't memorable enough.
Oh. You can't.
So what did me and Karan have to do? Pack our bags. We got back on the plane and we came home. And then the next week we went to Georgia, and he crushed Georgia, and they said, we want to offer you. So you don't stop when you're told no. You don't stop when your son don't make the cut. Michael Jordan got cut. He's the greatest goddamn player of all time. You don't stop. You keep going. And then after Georgia, we went to Penn State and got the offer. And then we went to Syracuse and got the offer. And the list goes on.
Kept going and got the offer.
And listen, and that ain't even bragging. That's just real talk. Like, for those parents
they need to hear
that really stopped because their kid didn't make the cut, keep going. Because in my head, I couldn't understand why that Miami running back coach said he wasn't memorable. I couldn't understand it. But that was his opinion, and I had to respect that. And I wasn't about to question him. I just said, all right, we'll be back. We might be going back this summer too. I don't know.
So let me say something. Y'all said something about multi-sports athlete. I did the tour here at Avon. I remember what Coach Holy said. He said after football season, and then correct me if I'm wrong, they make you do another sport.
You got to do another sport.
It's
all prep schools. It's all prep schools. It's mandatory.
At Avon, it's mandatory 9th and 10th grade. It's mandatory. But
Most
your junior and senior year is optional. But in Karan's case, he got to run track because he's a running back. Yeah. And like, we got coaches on standby now waiting for like track time. So he gotta run track. Oh, Phil and Auburn hit him up for his transcript. So
no, he can't do that. No.
I
know. We and him had that talk when he was 14. It's not optional to go that Auburn.
You already know where he's trying to go, Phil. You already know.
That's not an option. Look, Saban's still up in the booth. I'll give him a call in a couple months. Don't worry about it.
Call him, please. Call him.
Because I think parents need to. I was on the phone with a parent today. I'm gonna give you an example. Tito know who I'm talking about, but we ain't gonna say no names, Tito.
Yeah, Tito here not saying no names. Okay.
And the parent is talking about her son doing football all year round and how he's hurting, physically hurting. And she doesn't know what to do, but he wants to play football. And I said to her, are you expecting an 11-year-old to know, or 12-year-old to know, a 13-year-old to know when to shut it down? If they're having fun, that's your job as a parent to know, I need to shut you down for 2 months.
Yeah.
Let's go train. Let's go get better. Maybe it's growth plates. Maybe it's the fact that you've been beating up your butt. Whatever it is, let's shut it down. I said, that's your job. His job is to work, train, get better, and your job is to keep him active. But it's also your job. I said, it is not a coach's job in youth football to notice that your child is hurting at home and shouldn't be playing football. That's your job as a parent. No. It's my job to open up the Hartford Hurricanes. It's your job to say, Phil, my son, Growth Palace, ain't working this year. I spoke to the doctor. I took him to the doctor, so he's not playing this year. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my job to recognize that unless I see something on the field that sparks that to my attention. And I had to tell the mom and the dad that, look, it's your job to recognize this, and y'all failing at your job because you can't be asking me. I'm not home. I'm not like. I don't think that they understand that it's okay to run. And I tell big kids this all the time because a coach told me this in college football. It's okay for big kids to run track. Forget about the score. Forget about the track time, especially track clubs in high school. So what if you lose? Run the 400 or run cross country. I don't care if you come in last, he said. Just run. Just run. Get the big boy and just run. It may take them an hour to come in. Everybody got to wait till everybody finish. Because it builds something up in you that you can put into. And one of the most powerful things, this is my last thing, that John Holy said is, he said, anybody can play football because football don't require no skill to play. And when I say that, people go, what do you mean? If you think about it, you don't have to have a skill in order to be able to play the game of football. Yes, to play quarterback, or running back or wide receiver or specialized lineman and pull. But to be honest, we know kids you can just put in a D tackle position who don't know no skill, and you can utilize him. And as long as he's willing to run through a brick wall, he can be successful by drawing a double team. You need skill in basketball in order to play. You can't play basketball if you can't dribble. I don't give a damn what you say. If you can't dribble, you can't play basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Football is not a skill required sport. But he said this when I was in a meeting. I think it was back when Karan and them came. He said, but if you go take your child to a sport where he learn a skill and he come back and he apply it to football, that's when you start to see the separation of players. Basketball is a great sport that teach you coordination. That's why wide receivers, Allen Iverson and them, they were great freaking football players. Basketball players were great football players like LeBron James.
LeBron James too.
Coordination is crazy. They know how to go up on a rebound and snatch it. That's what you look for when you throw the fade route, right? Those skills are transferable. And so I think personally, it's not that I'm saying kids should not do spring. I'm saying kids should do something to acquire a skill in the off season that they can go and then apply into
football, like a football specific skill. Run track, wrestle.
Right.
What you're saying is whatever the next thing is.
Hockey is another one that's underplayed in the black community.
Lacrosse,
lacrosse, not field hockey, lacrosse.
Nobody not playing lacrosse, Tito, so shut up.
Yo, listen, a lot. You know how many coaches?
Good night, Jerry. Good night, Jerry. She got to be up driving the buses. Good night, Jerry.
I'm going to do that regardless.
I know, but what I'm saying is you got to keep the people safe.
Yeah, no, I am.
Well, listen, I want to thank y'all for coming on. Listen, I think parents is going to love this segment, right? Because I think that they're hearing from parents that's going through the process and they're hearing from basically youth football all the way up to right before college and what that process looked like. Now, some is going to take the advice, and like you can see, at least we got one that's vocal about it going, oh.
Yeah, she like, doing her big one. Yeah.
She's getting it because, and I think she was being honest when she said to Kia, but what if you got, what if you got a perspective and you really want to get it off your chest? Like you said, you can have your perspective. You got to hold it. Like every one of your thoughts don't belong to the coach.
Yeah.
Every one of your feelings about what should have happened don't belong in the game. And again, it don't matter how many times you tell me, Phil, you should have ran a trap play. When you're on the sideline at eye level and you're calling plays down distance, I'll give you an example. I played a championship game one time, and nobody knew that all three of my starting running backs told me they didn't want to go back in the game. So one got hit, he didn't want to play. Another one got hit, oh, coach, my leg hurt. The other one got hit, he was out. It was like 3rd and 1, state championship. I jumped in the 5 wide receivers. I heard everybody behind me, even one of the kids' parents. Yo, man, what the hell? Yo, get the first down. I wanted to turn around and go, your son's scared, bro. I can't put him in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't do that. Right? They didn't know. My coaches knew. I knew. I said, none of y'all want to go back in? No. I'm not going to embarrass the kids. Yo, on to the next. Remember, we got 30 seconds to call a play. I don't have time to turn around and explain it to a bunch of people so that I look better to them. And I think parents have to understand your feelings don't belong to the coach. You're entitled to yours, and they're entitled to their feelings. But we got to stop the cancer in youth football. And look, we know coaches got cancer, and we'll talk about that. But from a parent perspective, I think most of what y'all said nails it, because it's not a lot of parents out there that think like y'all. I know it sounds weird.
Right.
There is not a lot of parents out there that think like y'all.
Hey, Phil, I'll tell you what Randy Edsel told me when I was in his office the day Kai committed to UConn. Yep. He told me, he said, Kia, I'll give you my number to talk about anything you want but football. He said, don't call me to talk about football. I'm going to give you my number. You can call me. We can talk about the weather. We can talk about golf. We can talk about how your day was at work. He said, but the day you call me to talk to me about football and my job here as a head coach at UConn, we have no conversation. So I took that, and I'm like, Moms don't supposed to call coaches. Moms don't supposed
Exactly.
to.
That's
Nah.
crazy. Like, these stories is bomb. Like the
He said
Miami
that.
story, the UConn story, those are dope stories. And I'm glad that we got to hear them because we don't hear those stories. We hear coaches do clips on them and people share them and it seem cool, right? But we don't really hear them from the mom that was
From
in
the
the
parent
office.
perspective,
From a
that's
parent perspective who said, yo, call me up. Just don't never say nothing to me about football. You better
Don't
ask me.
talk to me about football. Randy Edsel said that to me in his office.
Wow.
Don't call me if it's about football.
Well,
And I'm pretty sure it went to all the parents, but I was sitting there that
no,
day,
but
so
I'm sure he had
told
that
me.
conversation with them all.
Yeah.
Every parent, don't call me. Like,
And that's how it should be. That's to me, that's how it should be. I mean, head coach at Alabama, I'm pretty sure there ain't no parents calling him on a Sunday night. Hey, what you doing? Oh, my son ain't getting the game. We was watching. Another commercial break done came. We ain't see him out there yet. That's not gonna happen. That's
you
not
wild.
real life.
That's a fact.
And if parents could train themselves now, trust me, it'll be easier later. Like, that's my point. If you can train yourself now to not like something and not say something, then by the time you get to college, you're not going to need nobody to go, girl, you don't need to say that. Because if somebody's saying that, then it's too late. Like, if somebody telling you, you really called the coach, it's too late. You blew it.
And I'll tell you this much, you damn sure ain't going to no coach or no college game say, hey, can I talk to you after the game? Not with 100,000 people at the damn game.
because we walking off the field.
First of all,
Right.
you're not even getting to the field. It's police officers right there. You're not even getting to the field. So just stop it. Stop it now. Learn it now. Be disciplined now. Everybody wants their sons to be disciplined. Parents, mom, dads, uncles, aunts, whoever is in charge of the child, be disciplined now. It'll do you some good later on.
Right.
And I think you have to know your kid too. Like, you have to know your child, like, because you can't be in the stands telling someone put my kid in, and your kid sitting there telling someone I'm not going in the game.
Yes.
Like, you can't. You have to know your kid. Like,
Hey,
you gotta
look,
know your kid.
If your kid is not memorable, they're not getting in.
They're not getting in.
Put my kid in.
Kid in. You don't want to play.
They don't know what's going on.
Getting in. They're not getting in. If
Or
they're
come
not
to
don't know
practice
what's
and
going on.
see
Tito,
what your
I
kid
agree
is
we have a
doing.
new
Like,
word
you
in
can't say, "Oh, my kid is a running back,"
Tell
but
the
he.
kids, your coaches all around the nation, we got a new thing in youth football. Kia just taught it to us. You ready? A parent gonna come up to you, yo, you ain't put my kid in. Your kid's not memorable.
He's not memorable.
That's my word for 2025.
Telling you.
Oh, 2025,
right?
So when Phil,
When that
when
coach
I run
said
down
that to
on you, Phil, and I say that, don't act like you
Phil, when
forgot.
that-
You don't know what I'm talking about.
Phil, when that running back coach said that to me from Miami, I wanted to haul off and punch his ass. I couldn't believe it. But you know what? I had to eat that.
That's what I swear on everything. Listen, Hurricane parents, the first one of y'all to have a conversation with me about that. My words, yo, you know what, Tito? Above 140 is making hats. We sell a hat, $25. Your child is not memorable.
That's
Come and show me.
put not memorable on here. Let's get it.
I swear.
That's what it is.
Why my son ain't run the ball? He's not memorable. When was the last time he ran the ball?
And
Right, who you kidding, Cass? You know, who you
I think
kidding?
a better way to say it. I think a better way to say is when you get your opportunity, you better make it memorable.
Better shine. You better
You better be
You gonna
ready.
have to.
You better be ready
You
when your
gonna have
number's
to.
called.
Right, but if they're asking you, then they ain't make that memorable.
Make it, yeah.
That's my point.
wanna-
If they're asking you, Coach Tito, man, come on, bro. Why my son only got one touch? Because his one touch wasn't memorable. He didn't make it memorable. Like
Listen.
it didn't feel like I needed to give it to him
No, I'm
again.
putting a disclaimer. Tito career did not say any of this shit.
Only the stars stand out. Only the stars stand
I
out.
hear you.
That's
I
it.
hear you.
Hey, listen.
Phil, I want to see you navigate these conversations. I want to see you tell a kid
Oh, they coming for Phil
They're
Hyde.
not
Don't even
memorable.
trip.
your child is not memorable. I want to see how you gonna dance your way
Oh,
out
wait,
of that.
let me ask you. That's not a disrespectful term to a parent. See, a parent that's in their emotions gonna feel disrespected. But
But
if you, see, I'm gonna tell y'all the problem with a lot of parents. Parents want to have a one-sided conversation, but say that they want a real conversation. Parents want to be able to come to Tito and say, yo, bro, come on, man, why my son not getting the ball? You know what they don't want Tito to say back? The truth. What they want Tito to do is, motherfucker, get out of here. I don't got to give him shit. That's an easier conversation to have because I can get mad, you can get mad. No hard conversation to have for Tito to turn around and go, yo, your son is like the 5th best running back on the team. He got bad feet. He hold the ball in the wrong hand, and he don't hold it high and tight. Yo, your son is not a running back on this team. That right there is not what parents want to talk about. They want beef. Everybody know how to handle upset, mad, cursing. Don't nobody know how to handle that. Because if you turn around and say that, Tito, what is the parent really going to say to you? You know what they're going to say? You're trying to disrespect my child. See, I got to bring it back to being upset. It got to be emotional. Facts over feelings, right?
That's going back to what Kia said.
Memorable, that's not disrespectful. Your child was in the game. I just really don't remember.
But that's going back to what Kia said. Should there be trials even for football, period? Should these teams be a selection? Should there be a selection process? I think that would clean a lot of that up. That goes back to her.
That's a fact.
And Cass said y'all gonna have these business. Y'all gonna get the business from these parents, especially if they think they child good. Please don't have these kids throwing the ball and running until 12 a.m. Said on the podcast, you gotta work. Work, goddamn. Work in the house.
Hey, Phil, I was just on a Zoom call the other night with Coach Woolley and some of the junior and senior parents up at Avon, and he made a valid point. He said parents are like moms who go to the grocery store. He said, what do moms do when they go to the grocery store? They only get what they want, right? And it's the same thing with coaching. Coaches only use the kids that they want. So if your father come up to you and say, hey, my son ain't get the ball in the last 5 plays, or they ain't throw the ball to my son in the last, and then like Tito said, I don't know, Phil, you might have said it, well, he dropped the last couple plays in the game, or he fumbled the ball the last 2 times he ran the ball. Coaches is the same way. They only going to use the kids that's going to make the play. Moms go to the grocery store to get what we want. It's the same thing.
The coach got to want to put your child in the game on defense. Like, look, we know some in youth football we have to, but we only have to 8 times. Like, we can. Like, it sounds bad, but let's be honest. We have to 8 times. After 8 times, we only do what we want.
I don't like that neither. I never liked that, Phil. I never liked the mandatory plays. I never liked that.
We gotta have Kia run. We gotta have Kia run the league. She don't want NPRs. She don't want
no.
Like Shamir said, you gotta know your kid too.
Because
you gotta know your kid.
Yeah.
Us as parents, we gotta be prepared for that day when our sons come home with that pink slip.
The lady said we couponing the kids.
We gotta be ready. We gotta be ready.
Right.
All that NPR and my kid gotta get 8 plays.
It's the NPRs to me. I think that should be. The NPRs is overrated, and I think they should.
I think definitely at the top. Look at 6-8U. Okay.
Yeah, but 11, 12, 13.
11, 12, and like they gotta go. That's too much.
Got to go.
You holding on to extra baggage for no reason.
I think
that's gonna cost you the game.
Like you don't got to take out even if you don't want to go to tryout, you should definitely have to take out NPR.
Because that's too much.
What makes that kid that's an NPR have to work when you have to put them in at 12 years old? Like,
I don't know, but I don't want to do NPR, so get them out.
It could be a lot. If you only play defense, you may play a whole quarter. Some quarters only get, 17 plays.
Yeah.
Right.
Half of the third quarter. Like, that's a lot of plays. Right. And so I think when you get older, it should definitely be earned tonight.
It should phase
out.
Let me tell you something, Phil.
Yeah. Yo, let me tell you, when we went to Florida, first of all, we had NPRs, whatever. They be coach, I could get in, coach, I could get in all season. until it's a game where they know it's gonna
When
bust
we
their
get to
ass.
the game, they
And
don't
then we
want to
get to
get in.
Florida. But
They
listen,
don't
we
want
got
to go on
Florida.
their plays.
They
They
plays and they're good. They don't even say nothing. They're
They
good
don't
on
even
the
want the
sideline.
whole 8. They don't want
They don't
it.
even want the whole. Yeah,
You know what
They
exactly.
don't want it.
It'd be the person from Nationals going, nope, that kid got to get in. He looking
Yes.
He looking like not me.
hit my running back. I ain't trying to go get that smoke.
Yo,
When
I
they watch
could
They
that
don't
not,
game,
want
they
it.
I
don't want
could
him.
not be a coach and a kid tell me that they don't want to get in because they scared of what's gonna happen out there in that field. I promise you, you won't play the rest of the season. I don't even know if I'll be able to do that.
We took kids to
But
Florida at 10U that told their parents.
nah. Mm-mm.
It
At 10U,
kid.
we took
Trust
kids
me.
It happens. It
I'm
happens.
telling you.
I would
It
go
get bad,
crazy.
kid. It get bad because I
I
won't
honestly
even
think
hold
that
you.
this conversation was educational. Having parents speak from all levels in football, from high school to college, is very informative. Great segment again. Chad said, I love y'all for real.
Hey, Chad.
Hey, listen, thank y'all for coming. We appreciate it. It's the New England Football Podcast. I want to appreciate. I appreciate it because I might play this at my first parent meeting. I might just take a 2-hour meeting and just play this and walk out the room. And when it's over, they say, "Okay, that's our first meeting. Have a good day." But no, thank you for coming on because I do think it was informative. I appreciate it.
No, it was definitely.
I
a great
appreciate it.
Thank
podcast. It
y'all
was
for
fun.
having
Thank
me.
you.
It was real,
Peace out.
ladies. Be
All
easy.
right.
Shout out Route 8.
Shout out Rudy.
Check us out in Maryland this weekend.
Who y'all playing against? Y'all know already?
Yeah, 2 teams. We're waiting for the show though.
Oh,
Yeah, we
that's
said it. Waiting for the show.
we brought to the big house. Oh yeah,
Yep.
I'm back. They missed that game too. Remind me.
Yeah, so it's get back time. So,
All right.
all right, have a good night.
All right, have a good night.
Good one, Tito.
Was
We don't even need to get into our topic of, the pen. Okay, so let's talk about. Let's get.
we touched on it. We touched on the parent.
No. But the last one. The
Which one?
new age coaches can only coach talent instead of developing kids. All right, let me tell y'all something right now.
Well, let's bust down the context. What is the new age coach like? So, what are we talking about when we say new age?
I don't think he mean by new coaches. I think he's saying in today's coach. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read to you what he said to me, so we got context right from him because I actually did speak to him. I spoke to him earlier today. Let me get it. He said, please make sure they understand what I'm saying and not to make it personal thing where coaches are responding because of how they feel like I'm talking about them. I don't want them to think that. I'm speaking in general. So I'm going to read what was up there. I want to talk about.
Now, is this the conversation that exploded in the 77 comments, or that was your conversation that exploded in 77 comments?
It might have been his. It might have been his comment. He said, "Is it me, or is it me, or these new age coaches can only coach talent instead of developing kids?" So he's saying basically these new age coaches can only coach talent instead of developing kids.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a new age coach. I think we know guys that have been around longer than us that when they got talent, they know how to use that talent.
Well, I think he's saying
they want nothing to do with having to develop a team or building a team.
Talk about individual coaches. He's saying in today's new youth football culture, everybody can only coach, and there's very few and far between people that want to go out and find and develop talent. And what I wanted to put up about this post was, I'm not going to point people out. Y'all go back and look at the post. But all these people in the post,
it's lying.
Not all, 90% of them is capping.
No,
because they're trying to make it sound like, everybody's out there trying to get the best players and nobody want to. Ain't none of y'all out looking for NPRs. It ain't a coach out there. I don't care what none of them say.
I mean, there was one comment on there.
Everybody's out there trying to get the best players. That's why the 203 versus 860 game don't exist no more.
I was about to say.
It became a recruiting ground for everybody around the state.
The dude that was capping the most. The dude that was capping the most on the thread is part of the reason why our game got all screwed up. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's funny. Them dudes is talking about it where they used the All-Star game to rebuild the whole goddamn program.
So I'm just saying that if we're going to be honest, I want the best players in the state to play for the Hurricanes. But the truth of the matter is they won't. And I'm going to tell you why, Tito. So it's not nobody that don't believe. I'm going to show you this, Tito. Watch this. I'm going to show you something. Because I know oftentimes people try to call out the Hurricanes, right, Tito? So I want everybody to see this live. Y'all see this? Look at this. You can come to our site, hover over, and go available programs. You can register right now, Tito. And guess what, Tito? They go cheer. Guess what, Tito? We don't even know who you are. You can go register for the Hurricanes right now. We don't know who you are. Right now, go to HartfordHurricanes.com. I'm going to show it again. And look, I'm not giving a plug for y'all kids to register. I'm going to make a point. You could go to Hartford Hurricanes register. Our prices is here and our teams is here. Why do I say that, Tito? I hear that people feel that we're recruiting all of these kids. I want the best kids playing for us. So if I see a kid that's nice and I speak to his parents, I say, come to the Hurricanes. They'll say no. I say, okay, I don't call no kid. I don't go in no kid inbox. I don't do none of that. If a parent is talking to me and they saying, yo, this, I'll say, well, then come to us. It's too far. All right, cool. That's cool with me. I don't have no problems with it. But our registration is open for anybody to come. Anybody to come. Now, we got some teams that's already full. Why? Well, if I had 33 kids on 10U last year, I can't open it up for the public because I'm already know 33 kids going to come back this year. They went to Florida. And the same thing with 13U, who was in the national championship. Obviously, their kids are going to come back. So there's some teams that's not open. Tito, your team is open. They're online right now. 12U, anybody from a kid that never played before can go up there right now and jump on and register. But I want to say this. This is where I think everybody missed the ball because I don't think there's nobody out there that's searching for NPR as the coach to develop. I think that statement missed the ball on one thing. Even stacked youth football teams need development. It's youth football. I've had stacked teams, Tito, and I taught them the game. I had Karan Kia, whose son was here, at 14 years old with offers from mad prep schools. I taught him the game more than what he knew already. Tito, you had kids at 13 that started varsity the following year. But guess what, Tito? You still taught them the game when they was with you that last year. There's not a youth football player that don't need development.
They all.
There is no such thing as a youth football player that don't need. You get a kid that don't need development, you're going to win national title, championship.
Right. It's our job to teach them transferable skills that will transfer to the next level, that will translate to the next level. And that's the hardest. The hardest thing we do is to figure that part out. How in your system of training are you going to develop your kids to take those skills that are transferable to the next level? And that honestly, like in my formula, that's probably the most important thing that I do, that I offer, is that I've been able to develop kids that usually when they leave me, they're going to go play varsity the next year. And this is not me making shit up. This is a fact. You know what I mean? They're going to have enough skills and enough of a skill set and enough of an understanding of schematic football that they should survive in any system that they go to. Period. End of story. That is the real hustle to what we do. And I think that oftentimes gets lost with all the other nonsense that we deal with.
Well, Tito, I'm going to tell you why that's hard for coaches. I agree that's the most important thing we do. And you said that's one of the most difficult things. But to me, here's why it's one of the most difficult things. Mainly because we oftentimes have to use kids in youth football in positions that they may not play in high school. So what my idea of teaching a kid up is making sure they understand football 101. So when they get there and they hear words like trap or counter or like they know what basic stuff. I know how to cover one. I know if I go out to a wide receiver, which foot go first. Like those things, a coach will instantly go like, damn, he know, get out there, check with the ref, put his hands up, watch the ball, don't listen
Proper
for
stance for linemen.
Proper stance.
The different stances, 2 point. The different techniques linemen use, down steps, reach steps, combination blocks.
I think that those
steps,
things,
short sets, long sets, like there's just thousands of, there's a lot of little details that I believe a lot of coaches, everybody, we all play football, we all play video games. Everybody that thinks they can coach food. It's like coach football. It's like barbecuing. Every man thinks he can man the grill, but there's 1,000 little things when you perfect something. There's 1,000 little things and details that make things go. And those are the things you hope to pass on to kids that become transferable at the next level. I don't know, that's my spiel on it.
yeah, but I think we as coaches got to be honest and stop feeling like it's something wrong with wanting to develop better developed players.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's why I don't like those conversations. That's why I don't like those conversations, because it's like in that conversation, I see a lot of cats talking on there. They got no business talking about developing, recruiting teams, any of that. Some of the dudes talking on there are absolutely the worst coaches I've ever seen in my life. And they all happen to be from one program, which is crazy beyond me. The coaching is so bad there. The coaching culture is so bad there that they're even talking on that is absurd. Talking on that subject matter is absurd. Absurd.
I'm just going to say that we have to be okay with wanting the best players and developing those best players. We got to stop making people feel bad for wanting what we consider stacked teams. Like, you can give a bad coach a stacked team that will win and not get to the ultimate goal. I'm going to give an example, Tito. If I take the top talent, the top 12-year-olds in the whole state of Connecticut, and I give them to Staff A, Staff B, and Staff C, they may beat everybody in New England. All those teams ain't going to win a national championship, Tito.
No, absolutely.
They're not. One's going to get there, one's going to falter, and one could possibly win. And the other thing we got to be honest about, Tito, is it's our fault that we feel like this. And when I say our, I mean our culture's fault, in New England especially. Why? Because we value the wins and we clown the losses. We value the wins and we clown the losses. Let's be honest.
Yo,
What do
Ty,
we do?
hold on. I'm gonna be as transparent as you were when we brought you on to talk that craziness that you never even said. I'm gonna be that transparent.
I asked to come back on, by the way. I've been coaching for 20 years and 0 national championships, 0 Florida teams, 0 regional championships, 1 state. I don't know how many wins, probably more than losses. Some families and several organizations ask me to coach their kids. The answer is I'm confident in my ability to communicate, develop, teach, and coach. True. Somebody got to have an off game to win, stacked or not. Yeah,
Listen,
or two people can play their best game and you can have a wonderful.
Anytime you line it up, any given Sunday, any given Saturday, any given Friday, anytime you line it up, there's a chance it could go the other way. That's the nature of football.
I don't think, and I don't want to go back down this rabbit hole. That's why I don't think teams should not play the game.
Right.
If you if you have not lost 40-0, you show up and you play the game.
The ball bounces funny for everybody at some point. The ball bounces funny. Football is literally a game of inches. Sometimes there's some luck involved. Sometimes the ball bounces funny for you. That's why you show up and play the game, like you're saying. That's why you show up and play the game.
You always show up and play. You never not show up to play. What about an opposing parent who sees a coach developing players and decides to have their kids coach under that coach? Is that still considered stealing? No,
I don't believe that.
Larry, that's what I just asked Kia about. If they just said, if they recognize that their kid isn't being developed, if and only if they said there's no other option, She said, then have a conversation with your present program. But if you're not being developed and you gave the program, the coach, the whoever, a shot at coaching your child, and you see another kid who you might have been better than 1, 2, 3, 4 years ago, but now they're pulling, they're trapping, they're stalk blocking, and like they're doing all of these things, and yet you notice your child coming home and you're locked in with your child, and your child only block the man in front of you.
Yeah, you block that cat.
Block in front of you. Who I'm blocking? Just block downfield.
Yeah,
if that's happening, it's not stealing. And first of all, I'm gonna tell y'all this is my own personal opinion. I'm gonna put it out there. The only thing that's stealing is calling through somebody's roster. Like that's been happening to the Hurricanes this year. I've spoke to parents, coaches from other programs have been calling my players, asking them to come play. To me, that's a little dirty. I anything outside of that, I don't care if that other team is developing your kids, Larry. If Phil Bryant calls Larry and say, yo, man, I want my son to come play for you. Yeah, he's getting developed here, but you're developing and you're winning. So I'm going to develop either way, but I want to be developed and win. I go to you. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with it. But see, that's my point about the thread made it seem like it's okay to hate on those guys that's deemed, and this wasn't Thrasher's point, but the thread went down the rabbit hole of everybody going, yeah, don't nobody want to develop kids no more. I don't, who out there calling NPR players? Who out there saying, son, you don't want to play football? No. You don't like football? No. Hey, come to me. I want to develop you. Come be my quarterback.
Right. And then the people
play quarterback.
I just found it ironic. The people saying that were partly part of the reason why we had to switch the format of the All-Star game. Because so they used the All-Star game. They used the All-Star game as an absolute recruiting ground to rebuild an organization. Like that's the shit that threw me for a loop.
So it's wrong not to have. It's wrong to not have a conversation with the program they are with if you decide to leave.
That's an interesting point because we talked about this earlier in another conversation.
Yes, I think that first of all,
exit. Is she talking about an exit interview? Like when you leaving the program, telling them why you leaving? I don't think that's a terrible idea.
Everybody's not entitled to that conversation. I will say this, Cass. If there was respect amongst the parent and the coach or program or whatever, then that conversation can be had. Then we talking about like MP boundary rules? Like if I live in Hartford and I want to leave, then you got to have a conversation with Phil. But if I'm in Windsor and I'm playing for Hartford and I want to go to Bloomfield or Windsor or Manchester, Phil's not entitled to a conversation with me. Right? Because let's be honest, Tito, I said it earlier. You football coaches, some of us are emotional and we operate on the wrong side too. I know I've gotten emotional before. And the problem is, what's going to happen when that parent go, yo, you're not developing all coaches can't hear that, Tito. Yo, you're not developing my child. My child has not progressed under you. So I'm going to take my child over here with Tito and I'm going to give Tito a shot with him. That conversation may not go professionally like it would in college because we don't operate in a 100% professional environment like college or NFL.
Right.
That's my point.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Is coach to coach dirty or parent to coach dirty? I don't know what you mean by that.
I think she's talking about if a coach reaches out to a parent, I believe.
I think if a coach want a kid, he should absolutely reach out to the parent.
To the parent, yeah, you shouldn't talk to the kid.
I don't think that is dirty. It's not dirty for somebody to call me and say, yo, Phil, your daughter, she likes track, man. Let me get a shot with her. That's not dirty. That's how it's supposed to go. Coaches are supposed to have conversations with
especially if the kids are under 16.
It's my job to staff the Hartford Hurricanes as the president. I get elected in Hartford to make sure the Hartford Hurricanes got kids, to make sure we're putting obviously Hartford kids, but kids as well, right? To make sure that there's kids on that football field playing football. Like that's what I'm there for. and that I got coaches in place to develop those kids. You know, one of these clown coaches that comes into Hartford, Tito, and get checks and leave from Southington, we know he is, we ain't gonna say his name, thought it was funny to call us the Hartford County Hurricanes. I don't care. I don't care. When you're attractive, people want you. When you're attractive in life, people want you. When you're an attractive program, people want you. You got an attractive car, people buy it. When you're attractive, people want you. And it's not always looks, right? With football, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. When you're attractive, people want you. I mean, Tito, people have left my program and went. I had a bunch of kids go to Powell a couple years ago. It is what it is. I didn't cry about it. I was still cool with their parents. We still cool. They still came to the Hurricane games. This is what happens, bro. Powell was winning. The run, I think 7U was undefeated, 8U, 9U, 10U. They forget everybody undefeated. Everybody want to go with the winner. So what I had to do, had to step the Hurricane game up so that they come back. That's what happened. You want your girl back? Step your game up. And so we stepped our game up. Bro, I'm speaking. That's what happens. How much of development is also on the parents?
There is a huge part of it. There's
so many investing in the off-season training for their kid. We have them for 2 hours, 5 days a week. The parents have the other 22. I'll help for those 2 hours and give them. Yo, Wes, that you know what? That's a great point right there. That when we say we don't want to develop, we didn't talk about the kids that do develop, what's happening in the other 22 hours. If we did a survey or if we did research, Wes, I'm like 90% sure we would find that the kid that Wes is developing and the reason people keep going to Wes and we seeing Wes pop out these athletes, that in those other 22 hours, their parents is doing something with them.
Well,
they're watching film. They're looking film. They're watching.
Or they going to another training session or they going to another training session.
I agree with that. I think that is the part that we don't have a lot of youth football research on. Maybe we should do that over the course of next year. Take like one kid from 10 different programs, see what their development patterns is, and then watch them. That'll kind of be hot. You must have enough children to keep a program active. So having an attractive program is a must. 100%. 100%. I think you have to have an attractive program in order to make people want to go. Bring good coaches into your organization and players will follow. Don't get mad because families want better. I sign all waivers. I do not believe Hartford is ever going to tell a kid no. I never.
JB, I see what you're doing though. Those are calculated responses, dog. You ain't getting that one over the general, my boy. I see what JB doing. Read JB post. Read between the lines of JB post right there.
Bring good coaches in the. I agree with the post.
Tito,
I agree with the post. Top to bottom. I think if you look, this is going to be a self-serving comment. We got 11:02. Top to bottom, though. I think top to bottom, this may be one of the best Hurricane staffed years. And what I mean by that is I'm talking about if you look at wins, if you look at football education, the amount of years coaching football, and the history of development, top to bottom, I feel good about our shot in New England this year, top to bottom. I'm just gonna say that we got some dope coaching staffs, top to bottom. Like if you're playing 13U to 8U, you got to bring your A game. And the reason I'm not adding 6 is only because, Tito, we know that's new every year, right? 5 years old, 6 years old, it's hard to get. But if you're playing the Hurricanes top to bottom, if your program don't bring their best game, you'll get wiped out. I'm just going to be honest. We like Death Row Central, like he said. Self-serving for sure, but it's from the heart, Tito.
No, but that's not what I meant, self-serving. No, I got what he's saying. I see.
Nate,
I
definitely
see
a lit season, Nate. Hey, Tito, what did I tell you? What is the one game I'm looking forward to? I said this to you earlier. I said to you when I was at work around 11 a.m., there's one game I look forward to watching more than any game this season. What was it? You can say it.
I would assume
No, you can say
Am I involved in it? Am I
You
involved
can
in it?
say it. You can say it. Yes, you can say it.
12U New Haven versus Hartford.
I cannot wait for the game, Nate. I think that's going to be one of the best rivalries of the year. Shatia have already told me to buy my tickets to the game. I think that's going to be a great game. Larry Myers wanted the Hurricanes to play the E9 Eagles. Come to New Haven. We went to New Haven last year.
We ain't got no. There ain't nobody scared to go to New Haven
last year. No, we went. We went to New Haven twice.
We
played the Pro Bowl in New Haven, and the odd levels went to New Haven.
Yeah, you had to go to New Haven.
We went to New Haven twice, Nate. Y'all got to come to the big house, top to bottom. Barrow's got his spot right there inside the gate. We make sure he right next to the tunnel and he's situated. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring out the truck with chicken too, bro. Just for y'all. Jumping programs is like switching a child's school every year. Kids need stability. True. Regular season. We came for y'all. Only y'all did though, Nate. Y'all did. I forgot. Hey man, Nate. Y'all beat us 3 times by like 30, bro. Y'all
just keep that same energy.
Be a better 12U game before the program get their shot.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh. Stratford versus New Haven is what JB's saying. We might as well just say it. 11 and 12. 11 and 12.
Larry.
Yeah, he right. No, he is. Yeah, he right. Half came down with 11U. They did. Larry Myers played half.
We played JB and we played JB at 10 at the big house this year.
So it was 10, 11, and 12. You right, Nate. All right. We will no rain, bro.
We need turf. We need turf.
White, Nate. It can't be no rain, Nate. Our jerseys, they gonna bounce back. Nate, it can't be no rain, bro. It can't be no rain. It gotta be dry outside. It can't be no rain. We gotta wear white. If y'all willing to wear white and we can wear our black, let's make it happen. Or yellow. No, y'all. Everybody gotta have white. Nah, bro. I don't have white top to orange top to bottom. Only one team have orange, but our 13U team is getting new uniforms because the Hurricanes is going away from black. We are going to the traditional Hurricane look. We're starting with the 13U team who don't have a set of dark uniforms. They're going to be getting new uniforms that I'm designing right now. And so we're going to start with 13U. And it has nothing to do with the fact that they made it to the national championship game because I don't care about that. I do care about
whose idea was it to get back to the green and orange? I told you we got to get back to the green and orange.
You did.
Bro.
I do. Everybody has black now, and I don't want to go to black.
Right. Everybody.
I want to get away from black. I want to be different. I don't want everybody got black. Bring back them green helmets. I want to, man, but we too deep now. That's a dub.
I already told you now what to do with the helmets. I told you what I seen. When I seen Santa Margarito, you got to go with the white helmet with the bright orange face mask up.
And with that being said, it's your boy PH the Prez, Mr. Above 140. It was a great night on the podcast, and I'm here with the co-host.
It's your boy Coach Correa, the General. Peace to the guys.
Peace to the guys in the earth. Hey, yo, listen. All-Star commercial is out, the registration commercial. The uniform announcement will drop next Wednesday on the podcast live.
Don't be making promises you can't
tomorrow,
keep.
The uniform commercial should drop next Wednesday live on the podcast. I'm not even going to tell y'all who's shooting it, but you will find out. The uniform I'm going to tell y'all right now, Shamir, she can vouch for this. She said, Tito, she said to me, this is the best uniform yet. And I'm telling y'all, it's the best uniform. Nate, all love, my brother. Nate is officially entering the realm of all-star staff this year. So I'm welcoming Nate to come help us, brother. We need all the help we can get, Nate. Mad respect. Thank you for helping us out, brother. Make sure you get your shirt and you help us out. Should drop. The change-up was seamless. Yes. It's going to drop. What you doing, douche? You around tomorrow? Come be in the commercial. I missed it, Phil. I'll rewatch. You got to, Thrash. We chatted about it a little bit. Anyway, I got to get off this stream. I got a wife upstairs. I got to go talk to her, see if I'm still married. Holla at you, brother. Hey, everybody, peace, love, and hair grease. We got a fun-filled show
Get
tonight.
hot. I met a boy today.
It's your boy, Coach Career, the General, A60 Army.
She loving my style every time I'm
You ain't need more money, Tito. You could have just invited 6 or 8 you down to Nationals.
I'm around. She got me
When certain people don't get their way or they feel slighted, they feel like they have a right to call us and voice their opinion. You don't.
The hood, we locked the
Clear. I've never removed a staff to allow a staff to move up.
No,
Never.
that's not what I'm saying. Now everybody's a personal trainer. We know who the originals are, but now if you look, you can find them in every town.